Oncore Lesson 29. We're going to estimate and then find the quotient. Quotient, of course, is a division problem. So if we have quotient and we're dealing with decimals, we want to make sure that we see this thing all the way out to the end. So we're not dealing with this R or remainder, whatever we have left over. We have two options when we finish a division problem in Mr. W's class. You turn it into a fraction, you turn it into a decimal, but unless the directions specify something else, those are the options that you have. If we do estimate right off the bat, we're going to see that 16 and 4800ths divided by 8. Well, 16 and 4800ths is close to 16. 16 divided by 8 should give me somewhere in the ballpark of 2. I'm going to just mark that as a reminder for myself. There's my estimation. That's all I really had to do. But I'm going to rewrite the problem as an actual division problem so that I can see if I make any mistakes. And you might say, well, 16 and 4800ths divided by 8, I can do it in my head. But humor me, write out your work, because even if you can do this part in your head, if you can't, you need the stuff written out. But if you can do it in your head, great. You're going to get to the point where you can't do these things in your head, and you're going to want practice in writing them out. Now, 8 goes into 16 2 times, and that gives me nothing left over. So I have a decimal. I just bring it up at that point. Once I've worked the division problem through to the decimal, I can just bring it up. Now, bring down my 4. 8 goes into 4 0 times. I cannot do it, so I bring down the 8. 8 goes into 48. I'd say somewhere about 6 times. Now it's 2 6/100ths as my answer. Is that close to 2? Yes, of course it is, so I know that I'm in the ballpark and I did the right things with my decimal. Let's look at one more down here. I have 3 7/800ths divided by 6. So 6 goes into 3. It can't happen. Put a 0. I'm at the decimal. Bring your decimal up. When you've divided across and you've got to the decimal, bring it straight up. Now, you know that 3 divided by 6, if I'm estimating, well, that's somewhere around a half. 3 is half of 6. So I'm less than 1, and that's the important, that's the first step that I'm doing something right. Excuse me. So how many times does 37, or does 6 go into 37? Well, that's 6 times, and that gives me 36, which is really close, of course. 37 divided by 36 gives me 1. Bring down your 8. How many times does 6 go into 18? Correct answer being 3 times. Now, 1/2 as a fraction, when I convert that to a decimal, is somewhere near 5/10. Now, the answer I come up with is 63/100ths. Is 63/100ths somewhere around 5/10? Yep, it's just a little bit higher, and so I know that I'm in the right area. Okay, so make sure that when you're dividing, you write out as a division problem, you do your work, so that if you have a mistake, you can easily find it. And then as you divide across left to right, make sure that you're bringing the decimal up in the right place. So once you get to the decimal, just bring it straight up and you'll have your answer.